Hello and welcome back to the Constant van den Stocke Stadium in Brussels for the second half of this Champions League clash between Anderlecht and Real Madrid. And Anderlecht forced into a half-time substitution with El Said replacing number 10, Baseggio. Baseggio's been virtually anonymous in this first 45 minutes as Anderlecht have really struggled to cope with what has been an excellent, a really assured, polished Real Madrid performance. Madrid leading 2-0 at the break. Goals scored on 19 minutes by Raul and on 34 minutes by Steve McManaman.
Yeah, Real Madrid have just looked comfortable from the start. They've used the ball very well. They've kept the ball extraordinarily well. Everything has been completely under control for Real Madrid, pretty much, apart from perhaps the opening 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, Mornar, the big Croatian striker, gave Francisco Pavon a few problems when he pulled him out wide to the right early on, but since then Madrid have just got a complete grip on things, and the question is how many goals in fact they can put past Anderlecht, because it's just been so dominant, the control from Real Madrid. However, here's Dindane, but the defending to do. Aruna Dindane, whose pace has threatened to cause Madrid some problems. Yeah,
there was one very, very good turn he produced very early in the first half, going down the left-hand side turn and got away. But he really hasn't seen enough of the ball, and you need to have players like that getting hold of the ball, going at people, making things happen, and going down the two channels. It just has not happened for Anderlecht. Real Madrid have looked comfortable all the way.
They've just given a real lesson the first 45 minutes in controlled football. Here's Dindane again.
What Anderlecht need to do is they need to pull the entire side forward, push everything up, put pressure on Real Madrid, because Madrid haven't even been pressured, and make sure that they don't get the time to play the football. And that looked like a dive to me.
It is indeed, and I think the referee thinks the same way.
It's Traore, isn't it?
Aruna Dindane getting the first booking of the night.
It was. I think he's grinning. I think he knows. I think he knows that was a dive.
46 minutes for. Let's have a look at this one. Well, I mean, he's not even near him, is he? That
is an absolutely awful dive.
Dear oh dear.
Well, Aruna Dindane should be ashamed of himself, not necessarily for diving, but for diving so badly.
The thing is, it skipped past Makalele and he had the shooting chance.
There's absolutely no point in that, was there?
Dear oh dear. What was going through his mind when he decided to do that? I just can't even imagine.
Well, I'm glad as well that he's been booked. I think that's pleasing to see. It was one of the worst dives I've ever seen in my life.
There's Van der Haga just dispossessing Figo, but once again Madrid recovering possession very quickly. What was one of the key factors in the first half is the way the Madrid players, especially McManaman, Figo, Raul, Makalele and Stelladis, all were able to swap positions almost with ease, and there were lots of little dummies, lots of short passes, and they just kept possession just brilliantly well. Yeah,
the ability to support one another in positions that weren't always their own, fill spaces that they needed to fill, rather than maintain their own position, if you like, while at the same time maintaining, as a unit at least, maintaining shape.
Exactly, as El Said is giving the ball to Dindane. Kept to his feet that time, gives it back to Ilic. And it's now across to Traore.
You wonder if someone somewhere has got like a voodoo doll of Dindane and just threw him to the floor. It was just a terrible dive with no one anywhere near him.
Well, he didn't even, I don't know, he just was so far away from Makalele.
There wasn't a challenge or anything, was there?
I mean, I suppose he might have thought with the angle may have made it look a little bit closer for the referee, but any referee who gave a penalty for that would have needed a serious visit to the opticians.
Yeah, he certainly would have done.
Hierro just playing the ball out to McManaman. Traore getting himself into trouble, and Van der Haga clearing things up. Back to Krassen. That's Hassi to El Said. Hendricks, didn't see much of Hendricks in the first half. Here he is though, attacking Salgado, trying to pull the ball back onto his favourite right foot. He did that on a couple of occasions actually. Just tried to get in there and get the shot in, and there Hiach took one in too long with the shot. Still a little bit more positive from Anderlecht.
Yeah, and territorial, it's very important that they squeeze space to deny Madrid the ability to pass the ball. And they're doing that a little bit. They're just pushing forward, and pushing forward in greater numbers, which is important. It's no good just a couple of guys running at Madrid.
El Said trying his luck. Tarek Al Said. And we also came on as a substitute in the Bernabeu a couple of weeks ago as Anderlecht received a 4-1 hammering from Madrid, and they must be going through their mind that in that game it was they were winning 1-0 at the break.
Yeah.
But today they've gone in 2-0 down.
So Tarek Al Said came on when it was already done and dusted. Didn't have much impact.
So his Figo looks up, chips the ball across, a lovely cross, but Krasen was there. Playing as a sweeper today. Nice turn from Khassi. And there's Hendrik again. Yachtuk and Dindain getting into the penalty area. Aruna Dindain, but this time Mitchell Salgado sticking out the foot. Got the crowd going a bit there, this spell of pressure. El Said, that's a good cross, and Monar and Traore. I wonder, good move from Anderlecht, good ball put in there. I wonder if Monar shouldn't have gone for that with his head.
Well,
let's have a look at this again.
Possibly. I mean, it's quite a long way from him anyway. He may not have reached it with his head either. He clearly thought his foot was the better option, but yeah, could have done, as you say, Traore on the far post. Well, much better start from Anderlecht. They've looked bright. They've started to press on a little bit. And given at least Madrid
something to think about.
Something to think about, made them a little bit less comfortable. And also given the fans a reason to start making some noise again, because they had gone very quiet. By the end of the first half, you could hear the Madrid fans, of which there's not more than 500 or 600, if that. And
Belgian fans are known normally for really raising a good atmosphere in their ground. You know, they may not be the most powerful league in the world, but the supporters really get behind the teams, make a lot of noise. Very similar almost to English grounds, the atmosphere, but as you can say, you could almost hear a pin drop after 45 minutes. Such was Madrid's dominance in this game. As it was just 7 minutes the second half gone.
I think part of that silence, you know, was kind of almost reverential. It was almost in awe of the way Madrid were playing, wasn't it? It was sort of, you can almost sort of sense the fans sitting back and going, "Whoa, my God, I've never seen anything quite like this."
This is another world of football. Here's Monar again, just got a little bit of space. Plays in support, tried to pull it back to Yachtuk, and there, well, they got the ball back, and oh dear. Well, there was Yachtuk, and that certainly was from another world. Hendricks on his favourite right foot, that's a good ball in there, but that's an excellent header. Roberto Carlos, the smallest man on the field, getting up and just flicking that away as Van der Haga and Monar look to get on the end of it.
Yeah, and Traore again, so for having been one of the free centre-backs at the start, that is dreadful. Having been one of the free centre-backs at the start, Traore is now bombing up and down that right-hand side.
Playing more as a right-back, isn't he? Yeah. It's curled in there, and Cesar yet again making a confident claim.
And I tell you as well, not only is that an absolutely dreadful effort from Yachtuk, but also I thought his movement was really quite poor. In the move, we haven't seen the whole move. But he was one of two guys in the box alongside Dindain, I think, and both of them went to the 6-yard box, and it took Yachtuk a very long time to realise that he had to pull back to provide the space to offer the pass. And by the time he decided that, Claude Makelele had seen it. Very disappointing. He's not looked particularly good. And when you consider that the threat that Ivica Monar and Dindain have offered, at least in patches, to Madrid, Yachtuk has been disappointing.
Virtually invisible for most of the game. That was a great clearing header from Roberto Carlos, considering he's the smallest player on the pitch. Well, maybe Dindain could give him a run for his money, but I don't think so. And he got up there between Monar and Van der Haga, who was lining up the header, and just flicked it away. Here's Monar again on the right. Crossing with his left foot this time, and that's a great header from Hierro.
Well, I think we're going to see a very different second half from the first half. Madrid would like to carry on the way they were, but Anderlecht are just making it difficult for them and pushing them right back.
As Hendricks might fancy the shot on his right foot, as it is got himself.
Makelele did very well, didn't he?
In two minds, and Makelele able to get the tackle in. It's astonishing how much possession Makelele wins.
Yeah.
Went in with 2 feet there.
I thought they both did, but I must admit, I thought Makelele went in first.
Louis Krassen basically saying to the referee, please book me.
Yes, that's exactly what you were saying to the referee, wasn't it? Ref, there's a card in your pocket, it's yellow, would you like to get it out and wave it at me? And the referee is really giving some back. I tell you, Krassen's a frightening bloke to be face to face with.
Have a look at this one. Well,
you see, I think that's both ways, but I think
Makelele
goes first, to be honest.
The thing is, I think because Hassi goes in on the floor, that's what made the referee's mind up for him. But it could have gone either way. I mean,
I thought so.
Bertrand crossing, a little bit unfortunate. Well, no, he went and complained.
Yeah,
very clearly and very loudly.
He wasn't unfortunate. He was unfortunate in so much as he might have had a point.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The way he complained, there's absolutely no way he was going to get anything other than a yellow card, except I suppose possibly
a red card.
Yeah.
Mitchell Salgado. There's McManaman just popping up on the right. Back with Salgado. Madrid will be grateful just to get the ball upfield for a short.
Yeah, just take some of the sting out of the game. Just try and keep the ball a little bit. And Krassen needs to be a little careful, because I'm sure the referee, having seen that little outburst, wouldn't mind putting another one out for him. Great pass.
Lots and lots of space. Oh, crikey, there's all sorts of challenges going in there. But in the end, Traore spectacularly clears it with an overhead kick.
Yeah, I wonder if Guti maybe should have turned the shot, but just tried to nudge it into Figo's path. Sold Figo a little short, didn't he?
It's nicely opened out for Traore. They have gone back to a more traditional 4-4-2, haven't they, Anderlecht?
Yes, they have.
With Dindane, that's just seems to be closing the gaps down a little bit better in midfield. And there El Said getting past McManaman, but McManaman recovered to get the tackle in. Salade is just moving things along. And Krassen with the interception. Certainly more fired up for things this second half, Anderlecht. Hendrick, it's a poor ball though. Makelele. McManaman. And there's Guti. Salgado and Makelele. This is a little bit more what Madrid were doing in the first half, just keeping possession, drawing the sting out of Anderlecht. Once again, not doing anything particularly brilliant, but when you see it taken together, it's so effective. Got Salgado.
Nice idea from Salgado. Didn't come off, but it was a nice idea. There's a nice little flick from McManaman as well that sent Salgado away. But as you say, it's nothing massively clever in isolation, but as a unit, it's very, very impressive what Real Madrid have done tonight.
Looking a really well-oiled machine, Real Madrid. Here's that move again, yeah. Guti just shields it, and I wonder if he couldn't have thought, yeah, you're right, I wonder if he couldn't have thought about turning, and there Roberto Carlos tries to side foot the ball home. Which is
with his right foot, it's
sort of most unlike Roberto Carlos.
And it almost looked like he was messing around, didn't he? Him striking with his right foot, it all looked wrong somehow. You say A because it was a side foot, and B because it was a side foot with the other foot.
There's Figo. Once again getting into the area, Luis Figo. Going down. Oof, that's a great challenge from Makelele.
Very good challenge from Makelele. Got some booing from the crowd because of it, but I think it was a clean challenge.
Let's have a look at this between Figo and Traore. He just puts half a leg across it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of contact. I think Figo is perhaps a little bit quick to go to ground, but there's definitely some contact there. There's definitely the beginnings of a foul, let's say. And Figo, I think made sure there was the ends of a foul as well.
There's Illich. The ball just overhit for Mornar. Traore annoyed with himself for that.
As well he might be as well, because he had the space to have provided a more accurate pass than that.
Roberto Carlos taking his time over the throw-in because Madrid are making a substitution. It's Fernando Hierro is going off. Hands the captain's armband to Raúl.
Well, it's not a natural tactical substitution, so you can only assume that there's something slightly wrong with Hierro, although he appeared to raise his eyebrows there when he was asked. I think it was Figo who walked past, asked him why he was going. It appeared to raise his eyebrows as if to say, well, I don't know.
And he's been replaced by Ruben Gonzalez. So Madrid with a very inexperienced pair of central defenders. I wonder if I'd be surprised at 2-0 with Del Bosque with half an hour remaining. Now I know that the club do have a lot of faith in Ruben, but I'd be surprised if he thought now was the moment to give him 30 minutes.
Yeah, unless Hierro is suffering from some sort of knock, but Hierro's face going off seemed to be one more of confusion than anything else, as if he couldn't quite understand the decision.
Madrid are reasonably in control, but certainly Anderlecht have reacted in this first 15 minutes of the second half. I mean, we're now just at the hour mark. Madrid still leading thanks to those goals from Raúl and Steve McManaman. But you know, if Anderlecht could sneak one, they could, especially against two very inexperienced central defenders, give them a little bit of a torrid time.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery, that decision.
There's El Said, who's been very lively since coming on at half-time. I wonder if Makalele will just drop a little bit deeper, just to give a shelter
bit more
that defender a bit more.
yeah.
There's McManaman, who's once again swapped back to the left. There's Guti. He's given that one away though. Ball through the middle, and Cesar, that's an excellent clearance from the Real Madrid keeper.
That is a very, very good clearance.
He's in a bit of pain, but I think it's I'm sure most of his teammates will believe it was worth the sacrifice. Was that mud on Morna's head?
No, I think it's a cut from earlier on.
Let's have a look at this. Really had to be out of his line quickly.
It's a long way out as well, and he saw it very, very early, because you see, as soon as that pass was made, he was already on his way, Cesar.
I'll tell you what, he gets Morna's knee in his ribs for his pains as well. Excellent clearance, brave clearance, and brave goalkeeping there from Cesar, who's looked very, very solid all night, hasn't he?
And it was interesting, I mean, it was Guti that gave the ball away. Silly pass, really, but I was just about to say just before he did, but it looked like Guti was going to come and play a little bit deeper just to protect Madrid, and then he did, well, quite the reverse from protecting them. He very, very nearly signed a death warrant for his own team.
Now here's Hendricks with a free kick for Anderlecht, taking it quickly. Morna got in there. In fact, it's Krassen getting in there ahead of Steve McManaman.
Now, you see Krassen and McManaman going in for the ball together in the air. It's always likely that Krassen's going to get there first.
I think in the end, McManaman, what he does is he turns his back, just hoping just to destabilise him.
I think it takes quite a bit to destabilise Krassen. Perhaps not mentally, as we saw when he had a go at the referee. He got destabilised extremely quickly then. But physically, he's a tough proposition.
He's powerful, isn't he? Mitchell Salgado just to take the throw in no hurry to do so. Figo just couldn't quite bring that ball under control. Oof. And once again, the attitude not looking particularly happy. Traore looking, needs some support. Finds it there. Zilic to El Said. Tries to curl the ball across, but it cannons off Mitchell Salgado for a corner, and a few nervous moments for Vicente Del Bosque.
Yeah, it's certainly not as comfortable as it looked at half-time, when Real Madrid looked very, very much in control. Look a little bit concerned.
Traore gets up, couldn't direct that header goalwards. He's certainly come into the game a lot more happier, hasn't he, on the right?
He's got much happier on the right. He's got up and down a lot more. And
there's a cat on the pitch. How on earth did a cat get into the ground? So he just seems to want to go out.
Yeah.
As quickly as possible. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Did somebody actually bring the cat to the ground? Is it the stadium cat? Did it just decide to sort of get in through the crash barriers? Who knows? McManaman just checks to see Guti's all right. Got a little knock from Krassen, and McManaman carries on into the area. Steve McManaman, but the offside flag is up.
Well, it's pretty close, you know.
He can't believe it, McManaman. He scored Madrid's second of the night on 34, and I reckon he fancied his chances. Oof, that's no way is that offside.
Not even by a whisker.
Ha ha, cat's whisker even.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Traore.
That wasn't even close, was it?
No.
And it really wasn't. McManaman's. Well, it's not surprising he's annoyed. I mean, it wasn't just that. I think it may even have been level with the guy alongside it, but there was the fullback was a good two yards or so further on.
Oh yeah, it was one of those things. He was outside, seems to push Michel Salgado there. Two high hands. I think what it was once again the linesman was looking in the middle, and the other player, no excuse really, is perhaps just out of his focus.
Perhaps.
Maybe he was so far behind that he never even saw him. And there, Dindane penalised for pushing Michel Salgado. He's got to be a little bit careful with his reaction. Aruna Dindane, he's already been booked. Him along with Krassen. Well, that's pretty clear cut. Frigo working back, sending it to Cesar. Not been called on to make any saves as such, Cesar, but he's been just looked really secure all game. He's made every cross he's gone for, caught everything cleanly, and then he did sprint out of his area exceptionally well a few minutes ago to deny Mornar.
Yeah, and had he not got there, then he certainly would have had a save to make.
Exactly. Pavon seems to have got the measure of Mornar now on the right. He struggled in the first half, but he's got every challenge in since then. Battled on there, Mornar, and won the free kick just outside the Madrid penalty area.
Well, there's absolutely no doubt at all in my mind that Pavon got a touch on the ball there. Whether there may have been some contact as well, I'm not so sure, but I thought that was a fairly generous decision to Anderlecht, that one.
And it's a reward for what, you know, they took a short corner with a big centre forward out by the wing. You know, I think the situation they're in, you'd think Anderlecht would want to get the ball into the box as soon as possible. As it is Cesar organising his defensive wall. El Said chipping it in. McManaman getting up so that he can win headers.
Yeah, great challenge. And I mean, I think that the linesman's flag was already up. There's a great challenge at the very end there by Paco Pavon as well, and the ball sat up. Pavon just got a toe end in there. It's interesting. I mean, you know, we're talking about a centre back, so you don't expect to see them as such. But we've seen absolutely nothing of Ruben since he's come on.
No.
Which in some ways is a good sign, because we haven't seen him skinned by anyone, we haven't seen him beaten in the air by anyone, but nor have we seen him make any challenges.
Just being in the right place just to close down the gaps.
Yeah.
Throwing goes Madrid's way. Halfway through the second half, it is still Anderlecht 0, Real Madrid 2, with those goals from Raúl and Steve McManaman, which at the moment look to be putting Vicente Del Bosque's side in the next stage of the Champions League. That's a nice move though, Roberto Carlos, and Raúl couldn't quite get on the end of it. I think he was well defended by Illich. But once again, Madrid, they've been under the cosh for the last 10 minutes, just stepping up again. There was Roberto Carlos making that long run forward.
Well, it's just the precision of the pass, wasn't it? Just carve open enough space for Roberto Carlos to put in a very, very good cross, and Raúl wasn't far away from it. Madrid, they have been under pressure, you're right, but then of course they just have that ability just to create a chance.
Under pressure, but they've not.
And a third goal, and it would have been all over.
Oh yeah, under pressure, but they've not allowed Anderlecht to create any clear-cut chances. looks like Steve McManaman is going to be replaced. Second Madrid player to go off. Savio, that's Savio Bortellini, an interesting change. Savio should give Madrid a little bit more. I think that what that probably means is they'll be sitting back a little bit deeper and looking for Savio to really exploit his pace. Yeah, to run at people, try and take people on. It's a good challenge. Good challenge from Ruben. Took a risk, but just got across there in time. So McManaman, the second Madrid player substituted. The first one was Fernando Hierro, who was replaced by this man making the challenge, Ruben Gonzalez. I guess the one thing that Ruben has in his favour there is if the referee isn't in doubt, having seen the absolutely horrific dive from Dindane earlier, he's going to go Ruben's way. But Dindane got the touch. Still not clear. Dindane tried the overhead kick. Well, he's caused, between him and Morna, they've caused Madrid more problems than anyone else. He's got a lot of pace. He's powerful. Striker from the Ivory Coast. It just hasn't really fallen for him, has it? Because I mean, the bizarre thing about this is that Madrid are 2-0 up. You wouldn't begin to question that they deserve it. They've looked by far the best side. They've looked comfortable the way, but they haven't actually created more than 2 or 3 chances. It's just been such good control football. That's the thing. It's just been not so much in the second half, although there have been periods of it were, but just in the first half, the Madrid midfield just was in total complete control of the game. They were just a different class to Anderlecht, weren't they? Yeah. An entirely different class of football team. Here is Dindane. A little bit of space there, but and that time he was being pulled back by the shorts, I think, by Saladin. It's good work from Figo, and in the end, just clever there, just delayed his clearance, allowed the Anderlecht player to nip in, and it's a throw-in for Madrid. We've got just under 20 minutes to go here in the Constant van den Stok Stadium in Anderlecht. Real Madrid winning 2-0 thanks to goals from Raúl and Steve McManaman, who's just gone off to be replaced by Savio. Play on, says the referee. As Raúl goes down. Dindane out on the left, coming inside, switches it back. It's Hassi. Once again, Ruben gets up, gets a good header on that one. Traore, El Said, trying to work a shooting chance, and in the end the referee decides to give the free kick. Yeah, I think he was waiting to see if there might be an advantage for Anderlecht, which is why he was a little slow to actually blow the whistle. I don't think there's too much doubt that Ferraris caught El Said. Vicente del Bosque, impassive as ever on the Madrid dugout. Took Luis Figo a long time to hear Cesar then, didn't it? And Cesar got down well as Ayachtuk actually made contact with the ball. Yep. It's good to see. I think he proved with that he may be right-footed. Actually not a bad effort, but we'd need more than that to beat Cesar from that range. Savio just using his pace to good effect. The other thing Savio will bring Real Madrid is that he'll draw a lot of fouls. They can take this thing out of the game, see out the last few minutes, run down that clock, and as you say, when they break, he's quick and he's direct, and he might well make things happen. There's about 17 minutes of normal time left in Anderlecht. Real Madrid winning 2-0. Just having to do a little bit of defending at the moment. Here's Hassi. Intercepted by Pavon. Madrid at the moment with reasonably inexperienced, well, very inexperienced at this level central defenders as Paco Pavon and Ruben Gonzalez in the middle of the Madrid defence, but they will be looking for all the help they can get from Claude Makalele, who's dropping in there, Mitchell Salgado, and of course Roberto Carlos, just to get them through these closing minutes of the game. And of course, the more the ball Madrid get down in the Anderlecht half, the better they'll like it. Here's Luis Figo. Side to Savio. And Roberto Carlos skips past
Well, just so easy.
Van der Hager again. Now, I think the Anderlecht captains thought about the obstruction and then thought, we better not. But he just looks full of running, doesn't he, Roberto Carlos? So that looks full of running every game.
Oh, it's incredible, and he really is. And this is one of the reasons why Real Madrid get away with what sometimes looks like a slightly imbalanced system in that the guy who plays wide left for Real Madrid tonight, Steve McManaman, plays very, very narrow, because Roberto Carlos is fullback, left winger and striker all in one. It's frightening. He's a footballing one-man band. It's absolutely incredible.
Only problem is probably a little bit small at playing goal.
Yep.
Here's Dindane. Once again trying to attack that Real Madrid defence, but there Ruben. Well, since you said we haven't seen much of him, he's made 3 very good interventions.
Yeah, he's stepped in well, he's read the game well. And he's made a couple of good, as you say, good strong challenges when he's had to.
We're just approaching the last 15 minutes of the game. Madrid just looking to keep the ball moving. Salgado. So he's Figo.
Well, I didn't think there was any doubt that he'd been pulled back by Hendricks there. The referee didn't want to know. Figo's not at all happy.
And once again, Cesar out of his area, but the ball running through. But once again, just good judgment from Cesar.
Yeah, what he's done, exactly what he's done is he's read the game in front of him very well tonight.
He only made 1 save, which was on that free kick from Yash took a couple of minutes ago, but he just looks so solid and so secure, Cesar, tonight. There's Hendricks. Dindane collecting. Looking for the overlap from Ilic, but Madrid defence getting in there. This time Figo, just a little bit, as much as Salgado, actually, just a little bit unlucky. Because the ball was there.
Yeah.
Just nipped away from him by El Said.
And the challenge before that was Ruben again.
Just, well, he maybe follows through a little bit.
Yeah, I thought at first you were right with his right foot in that he was unlucky, but his left foot swings right the way around, doesn't it? Makes absolutely sure of clobbering El Said.
Now the substitution is Guti who's coming off. A little bit disappointing if you had to sort of single out anyone for criticism, Guti. But he's worked hard. And he's replaced by Fernando Morientes. So a straight swap. Maybe it'll be Raul who'll drop back a little bit deeper now.
Yeah, so I would have thought Raul would be the deeper of the 2 strikers.
Hendricks curls that one in, and Cesar makes yet another excellent claim.
That's a very, very good claim indeed, because the ball's travelling quick.
And he's
it's
made
not
a lot
that
of ground.
high. It's not so high that he's got time to see it either. He made up a lot of ground, caught it very, very cleanly.
Really impressive display from Cesar tonight. And Savio trying to use his pace against Traore. Nice little work there from Savio. Right out by the touchline, kept it in. There's Roberto Carlos. Who else? The dummy, and it's not quite got to Luis Figo.
Yeah, Morientes just too soft, that touch back to Figo, wasn't it?
Here's Dindane now. Once again got Ruben with him. Have to time it well, Ruben in. Once again, he did really well there.
Did do well, because Dindane is quick. And you wonder now, with hindsight, whether Vicente del Bosque was just thinking, look, let's get someone with a little bit more pace than Fernando Hierro.
Well, if that was his idea, it's working out pretty well so far, because Ruben has got into this game and he's really shown a good turn of speed. There's Iachttuk going off for Anderlecht. To be replaced by O. Thompson. So there's a striker coming on. It's a deep corner at the far post. Traore got up well, but couldn't direct that header. Cesar taking his time over the goal kick. Still taking his time. Probably get a little warning from the referee soon, I think.
Yeah, I think if he does that more than a couple of times more, he will.
Pavon up well. Grassen. There's Mornar again, renewing his battle with Pavon, gets the ball across. Once again, Ruben just took that off Thompson's head. El Said, but he wanted too much time to bring that one down.
Yeah, it didn't come down from at first, and then he decided he was going to turn away from McAlady rather than just hit it.
And Dindane, was he just caught there? I think that's a slightly nervous look from the Anderlecht striker at the referee there. It's like, has he given it, or do I go for the early bath? Let's have a look. Yeah, Salgado just catches his trailing leg. As we go into the last 10 minutes of this game, we've just got a little bit of defending to do, although they should be comfortable with this 2-0 lead. And Cesar, once again, a safe pair of hands.
Well, that's been the story of the night from Cesar, hasn't it? He hasn't had to make any great saves, but he's been sure and secure all the way through, isn't he?
Just dropping in a nasty place from there, and Hendricks hitting it well. Cesar takes it out. Celade is just nipping in there in midfield. Makalele keeps it moving. Roberto Carlos got Savio outside him. Traore makes the tackle. Dane doing well, working back in defence. Back to De Wilde. He's not really been called into action very much the second half, the Anderlecht keeper.
No, he's hardly seen the ball. And yet, funnily enough, Madrid has still also managed to prevent Anderlecht from doing a huge amount with it as well.
It's been a good tactical performance from Madrid in the second half. They've not been able to, Anderlecht have stepped up a gear. Madrid haven't been able to stroke the ball around as they did in the first half, but nevertheless they've been working really hard at the back. The central defenders have performed well. I mean, Del Bosque must be delighted with what he's seen from Ruben and Pavon, especially Ruben since he's come on.
Yeah.
Pavon's had to struggle all game with Morna, who's been dangerous, but Ruben's just not put a foot wrong yet. There he is again, making an interception. Ilic out to Hendrik. Dindane with Salgado in front of him, just knocks it inside. There, the ball over the top. The offside flag up against Morientes.
Well, I'm not so sure about that one, to be honest with you. Certainly seemed to be pretty close.
Well, the upshot of it is it's a free kick for Anderlecht, and El Said leaving the ball for Hendrik, gets it back. El Said. He's got Makalele ahead of him. He's got the ball across the area, and that was an excellent chance for Mo now, as it is. It's not even gone out for a throw-in. Traore back to Van der Haga. Ruben up well again. And Madrid able to scramble the ball halfway clear. El Said again just caused problems a second ago, but this time ball's not getting across the area. That was
a very, very good chance indeed for Mornay. He should have done a whole lot better than that.
First touch just let him down
and go out for a throw-in.
Been taken quickly, and Cesar once again. I'm starting to get tired of saying great claim by Cesar.
Yeah, he's had a very, very good game, hasn't he? And I think this is the kind of goalkeeping display that teammates really appreciate. You know, I mean, obviously obviously teammates are impressed and are very, very grateful when a goalkeeper makes a sensational save and you know, gets them out of trouble, brilliant tip over the bar or whatever. But what they really, really want is a goalkeeper who they know where they are with him.
It's just an insurance policy, so he's caught everything.
Exactly. They know that, so when the centre-backs know certain area, that's the goalkeeper. He's coming, he's getting it, he's keeping it, and he's holding it, and it's not spilling. And that's what Thessal's done tonight. It's been very, very impressive.
It's just stuck. I don't know if he's put glue on his gloves, but everything is stuck. So Roberto Carlos still finds time to hand the legs to get forward to Savio. Savio just working a little space there, but Traore did very well, stretching out a leg, conceding a corner. That's what Madrid want from Savio, just to win these set pieces.
Yeah, exactly, to run the clock down, keep the ball, and if possible, of course, to make something happen and score another goal.
But obviously, while the ball's in the Anderlecht half, Madrid are in no danger. So Luis Figo. Roberto Carlos will be quite happy to keep a bit of possession. So they've lost out there. Here come the visitors. They've got 5 minutes if they want to get something out of this game. 5 minutes in which they need to score 2 goals. 2-0, the advantage that the goals from Raul and Steve McManaman gave Madrid. Just a little bit far for Roberto Carlos. Krasen. Back to De Wilde. There was Dindane over on the right, and Ruben clearing with his heels.
Sort of unorthodox, wasn't it? But it worked very well, yeah.
That was an important interception from Krasen.
And Luis Figo was trying to find Raul very, very close to putting him through.
Dindane again, good challenge. Madrid were very close to getting through there again.
Yeah, what the Anderlecht defence has brought that defensive line really, really high up, which of course is squeezing the play, but it's also running the risk of Madrid getting through with a little clipped pass.
And there's Cesar once again.
Well, to be honest, I thought Roberto Carlos had kept that in then.
Here, Anderlecht again. Monar spent a long time out on the right in this game. Ooh, I think he's got caught by Roberto Carlos. You could hear him just on the ankle. Roberto Carlos has no problem admitting. I think it's accidental, isn't it? Just. Oh,
yeah, it's quite a nasty one, isn't it? I mean, it is accidental, but it's quite a nasty one.
Just mistiming his challenge there, Roberto Carlos. El Said with a free kick, curls that one in. Cesar did well, reacted very quickly there on the near post. I don't know if Monar got a touch on that.
I think he did, just a nudge on it. I feel a bit sorry for Monar. He's worked very, very hard and nothing's really come off for him.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Yeah, that's a good save from Cesar. Good reaction, because those crosses that just get the tinier touches are so hard for keepers. Flicked on by Morientes as Krasen and De Wilde not quite understanding each other, but De Wilde doing what he had to do, which was get a foot on it and send it long.
Yeah, I think the most Anderlecht fans have given up. It's gone very, very quiet. The few fans you can hear now, the Madrid fans again, and there are a few Anderlecht fans on their way out as well. I think they've seen a very good team tonight. Unfortunately for them, it's not theirs.
Exactly, it's been a very thoroughly professional display from Real Madrid in the first half. They kept possession, they moved the ball around, and just through being patient, they carved out the chances they need, took those chances.
Well, one of them after a move of what, 25, 30, maybe even 35 passes, superb.
And even though in the second half, as Ruben makes another interception, Anderlecht have stepped it up a gear. Madrid have defended very, very well. About a minute and a half to go of normal time. He didn't make that one. It's the first one he's not made there, Cesar.
Yeah, and very nearly paid the price for it, didn't he?
He was asking for it was Thompson, I think. Cesar's asking for the free kick. He just doesn't quite make that one.
No, he seemed to be buffeted slightly, didn't he, before he got there? And I think that's maybe what he's complaining about. And he has, as we said about 5 minutes. Oh no, he hasn't got the card. The referee went over very purposefully.
I think what Cesar did when he went for that one, I think he saw that Thompson was going to get the better of Makelele.
And decided he would get the better of Thompson. Just didn't get there quick enough, did he?
Exactly. That's good work from Raul. Chance for Morientes, they'll go make it 3. Good shot for Morientes, hit it low and hard, but the Vilda was equal to it. We're into the last minute.
Yeah, he did very, very well, Morientes. The only thing is that I think he had Luis Figo coming along on the inside, and Figo wasn't very impressed when he saw Morientes have that shot.
Into the last minute, you're a striker. You've only come on as a substitute. You're going to have a shot, aren't you? Hendrik once again cuts inside on that right foot, hits a decent shot, but easy for Cesar. Morientes again. This time he does give it to Figo, just a little bit behind him. Figo looks up, there's Roberto Carlos making yards up on the right. Can Savio find him? No, but Raul can. Roberto Carlos looking for that little chipped ball into the area. It's a corner. We're into injury time. I'm sure Madrid won't be too disappointed because they're a question of seconds away from qualifying for the next stage of the Champions League.
Yeah, Roberto Carlos is disappointed. He's very frustrated with himself. But as you say, he needn't worry because Madrid are very, very close now to having a place in the second phase and to having started this group in just fantastically good fashion with 4 victories.
4 out of 4. Well, of course, 4 out of 4 without Zinedine Zidane, who's been suspended. Yeah. Unbelievable. They signed him with a 4-game suspension from Juventus. This is the last game of Zidane's suspension, and they've won all 4 games, which is a little bit worrying for the rest of Europe.
It is indeed. You look at this team, how they've played tonight, and you think, and we're about to add the world's best player. My goodness.
Hendrik looking forward, picks out Mona, and the ball just skips away there from the big Croatian. Credit to Anderlecht, actually, the second half. A lot of teams could have laid down and died. They've actually picked themselves up and they've worked very hard. They've just not quite got the quality to break down what's been a very efficient Real Madrid midfield and defence.
Yeah, they've given a very good show of themselves in the second half, Anderlecht. But as you say, they've been up against a side that had really already done everything it needed to do in the first half. And just so long as it didn't get caught, I think maybe if Madrid had conceded 1 goal, this may have been different. They may have been a little bit nervous, and Anderlecht may have poured forward in greater numbers. But I think, generally speaking, Real Madrid looked pretty comfortable tonight.
Certainly they've been given confidence by Cesar, who's made an excellent performance, but people like Ruben, who's once again making that clearance, he's been able to come on and give a very, very assured display for half an hour.
Yes, he has.
It's Thompson. That one's hooked wide by Anderlecht. That was side, isn't it? And there's Thompson, not really been able to make much of an impact since coming on as the substitute. And you get the impression that both sides just waiting now for the final whistle. Roberto Carlos, Makelele just helping it on. And Celades, who's been very much an unsung hero, but he's just moved those, just kept things moving, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think Celades has been a very important part of the way Madrid have played.
Good shot there from Celades to Morientes, who looked for him. De Vilda once again getting down well, and Morientes looking for Celades, just couldn't quite get in there. Can Makelele set up a final chance? Fancies his chances, Makelele, just bounce on his back. Krassen.
It's a great interception from Makelele as well that set all that off.
Hendricks just clearing it to El Said. Had 3 minutes of injury time here in the Constant van der Stok Stadium, and that is enough for the referee who blows the final whistle. So, after 90 minutes, the final score is Anderlecht 0, Real Madrid 2. Those first half goals from Raul and Steve McManaman, giving Madrid all 3 points and classifying them for the next stage of the Champions League. It's been a very, professional performance from Madrid. They moved the ball around really well in the first half, and although in the second half Anderlecht pressed harder, they defended expertly. Very good performance from Madrid into the next stage in Europe. We hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back soon. Goodbye.